the honorable, awesome, and charming AlphaOmegaSin, who has 2 pieces of video game news for all of you out there on YouTube land. The PlayStation 4 has a motherfucking release date. The PlayStation Vita has a very necessary, very much needed motherfucking price cut. So let's go into the PlayStation 4 release date first. People are speculating and going and fucking just jumping around in the rumor mill saying, hey, the PlayStation 4 is going to come out at the end of November at some point, or early December, which I thought doesn't make any fucking sense, because why would you release your shit after Black Friday? The biggest shopping day of the season! Let's release our stuff just a couple days after! Like, no, that doesn't make any goddamn fucking sense whatsoever. You release that shit beforehand. So all good console manufacturers who release within the fall at any point during the holiday shopping season usually go and aim for that, because that makes the most sense. So yeah, November 15th, that's when everybody will go and get it, unless you have no plans whatsoever of getting it, and you're just like, fuck you, I'm getting Xbox One! Which would be interesting if Microsoft decided, we're gonna go and release the Xbox One on November 15th. So then you've got like 2 completely separate lines, and they're all just sitting there like in the Warriors and shit, everybody's like in their own fucking gear and their own like themed gang shit. Just like, fucking Microsoft fanboy, I'm gonna knock your fucking teeth right down your goddamn throat with your shitbox one. Oh, fucking Sony tard fucking bitch ass system. Fuck you, man. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you and your fucking grandma. I'm gonna knock that old brittle bitch to the fucking moon. Then all of a sudden, a bunch of elderly people are getting the shit knocked out of them, and they don't even know what's going on because they're so fucking coked up on all their medication. Like, I think I took Fridays, but isn't it Tuesday? But anyway, so I thought that could be kind of interesting. Like, in later news, a bunch of video game fans went to war and most of the city currently is destroyed, and tons of people are screaming, where the fuck is my BFG? And I didn't know I could respawn, this is amazing! But that person was also high on PCP. In other news, look at this darling little kitten! But it's kind of interesting to go and think about stuff like that, but you know, if they do it, that's ballsy, that's all I can say. But they're probably gonna go and release it a couple days before, a couple days after, I don't know, some shit like that. Anyhow, so we have a release date for the PlayStation 4. Now, onto the PlayStation Vita price cut, which, like I had said, it was very necessary and very much needed. That, to me, that's one of the main things that was holding that shit back. Like, the PlayStation Vita, right now, could just be fucking, like, riding high on success and be like, oh yeah, this is fucking awesome, let's go surfing out, everybody come around, come on in, party with Vita. And, you know, just chime that in and shit. But it's like too fucking expensive for a handheld. I mean, Nintendo learned their lesson real fucking quick when they're like, people aren't buying up our shit like it's a vaccine they absolutely need, or like some kind of fucking crazy crack sale over in fucking Larry's alleyway, and everybody's just like, man, you need to fucking get that shit. I'm seeing stuff right now, and it's just like, get in or get out, and I don't fucking know what's going on, just give me a goddamn 3DS. It's cheap right now, it's cheap. But it's like, They didn't learn their lesson. I understand that, you know, beefy hardware and shit like that, and it probably cost a lot for them to manufacture, but cut your fucking losses and make up for it in volume through software. That's what I would do. Because you don't want your shit just floundering and sitting there and just be like, ah, yep. How many Vitas do we sell this month? 6. Huh. That's... fuck. That sucks. I'm gonna be out of a job. But price cut. It went from $250 down to $200. So $50 down makes a lot of sense. But is it enough? Me personally, I think that they should have went down to like $175 or so. You might be thinking, is $25 really that big of a deal? But in all actuality, that'd be $75 down. And you know, when we're looking at the big picture, and the more money that people can save, the easier it is for them to go and approach the system. Especially if they were already interested in it, then they'll have no qualms about it. They'll go and invest in it and then go pick up games for it right thereafter. But then you also want to grab a hold of the people who are like, you know, I've never really thought about getting this. I think I'll just pick up on a whim. You want those people. You want the people that are just like, fuck it. I mean, it's pretty cheap. Why not go get it? I saw some pretty cool games for it. I'll go and pick it up. So I think that it should be lower, but it's a start at the very least. But there was some good news about this. In addition to the system itself getting a price cut, they also lowered the price of the memory cards. Now, a while back, whenever it was first announced about the PlayStation Vita and the memory cards were fucking astronomically priced. And that's been one of the hindrances of the system, in my opinion, because the memory cards are necessary. This isn't something like, oh, you can get it, and I mean, that's just like an accessory that you can get if you want. It's an no, not an option. You fucking need need those. And considering the fact that a lot of their offerings on there, especially with all the shit that they've been announcing recently, is going to be a lot of digital downloads off the PSN network and stuff like that. And if you're doing like cross-buy or something, then again, you have to go and download it. Like, I got a Vita for $100 with a 16GB memory card, a copy of Madden, which I traded the fuck away, because that shit essentially to me was a fucking coaster for my Jaeger. I'm just like, bam! No, seriously, fuck that game. But I was just like, I don't really need this trade away, so ultimately, like $100, and I went and traded away and got Muramasa Rebirth. Ha! But I played through fucking Uncharted Golden Abyss, completed that, loved the shit out of it. I like the Uncharted games a whole bunch, so if you're like, I fucking hate them, I don't care. I'm just telling you what I played. I played Gravity Rush, which, by the way, if you were ever like, that game looks kind of interesting, play it. It is very fucking cool. The camera gets wonky sometimes, but just considering the fact that you can go anywhere and everywhere at any single time, and that's like one of the bases of the gameplay. Yeah, it gets kind of fucking nuts at times, but yeah, you'll be like this sometimes playing. If anybody saw me like out in public playing, I'm just like, you fucking bitch, out, get the fuck over here, you, yeah, ooh, fuck. Hello, how are you? Don't look at me, I will fucking smack the shit out of you. Yeah, you big fucking loaf of bread looking motherfucker with your stupid ass fucking mustache. Huh? Something like that, assuming the person doesn't have a mustache, or his mustache is awesome like Tom Selleck's. Tom Selleck has an amazing mustache. Or Cody Rhodes, but they shaved his, so that's kind of sad. Anyway, so, it's a price cut for the memory cards, but here's the thing. Despite the fact that they dropped the price of the memory cards, I don't think that it was enough. Seriously, 32GB memory card on Vita. If you already know, then this won't be news to you, but take a wild guess as to what a 32GB memory card after the price drop costs right now. 32GB. I mean, SD cards right now, like little flash drives and shit, like $20 or less. So, what do you think a Vita memory card would be? Like, 40? 50? 60? 70? $80! No. No, 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 no. That shit is way too fucking expensive. If I can get 4 SD cards that are 32GB for the price of that, it's just like, come the fuck on, man. It's like, come the fuck on, really? And that's something you're going to need. Especially if you're going to be invested in the system for the long fucking run. Well, I'm going to have to go and delete this stuff right here so I can go and download this stuff right here. It's just like, come the fuck on. Just, no, don't do that. That shit just blows my fucking mind. But I was surprised by one thing, though. Despite the fact that we got the PlayStation 4 release date, we got a PlayStation Vita price cut, which I was happy to go and hear about, but I was surprised they didn't announce a bundle, considering the fact that they keep on talking about, you know, there's going to be a big correlation between the systems, and there's going to be a lot of, like, you'll be able to go and play PlayStation 4 games on the Vita, you know, and that'll be fucking amazing and shit like that. There's lots of cross-buy and cross-play stuff, so they're trying to link them together, like the whole PlayStation family, PS3, PS4, PS Vita, like this, and like Tasmanian Devil or some shit like that. But I was like, why didn't they announce a bundle? Okay, PlayStation 4, $400. PlayStation Vita's $200. Announce a bundle at $500. It's $100 in savings, but it's 2 pieces of hardware that you're getting out there for the masses, and people are going to be invested into 2 completely separate platforms, but, you know, they're going to be buying up a whole bunch of shit if they're going to invest $500 fucking dollars, you know what I mean? So it's like, there you go, throw in like 3 months of PlayStation Plus, right there, off the bat, free. So then they can take advantage of that for both fucking things, and if they want to stick with it for the long run, then there you go. That would have been really smart, but they didn't announce something like that. Maybe they will down the road, but I think it's kind of retarded not to be doing that. If this is something that you're pushing, then you should really push it. That would be one of the best fucking bundles you can get out there. Do I like it? My limited edition bundles that are all like colored and look crazy and shit and have really cool stuff that comes with it? Most definitely. But if I didn't have either system, that would be a good jumping off point for me. And considering that this is new hardware and a Vita, a lot of people don't fucking have a Vita, quite frankly. This would be an easy way for them to go and invest in it. And then developers and publishers and shit are going to see, oh, hey, now we can actually start making Vita games, or we can just start porting more shit, because there's a lot of fucking ports on there. Luckily, they're good. Like, this guy and Muramasa, seriously, like some of the best fucking ports on there. Disgaea 3, by the way, if you're wondering, because Disgaea 3 actually has all the content on it. Who would have fucking thought of that instead of making all this shit fucking DLC? Like, over half the game was fucking DLC. Like, you'd have to spend an extra $60 to get all that shit. Fucking nuts, just... Anyway, so... they announced their ship at the exact right time, you know, the release date and stuff, that's all fine. The price cut, very necessary. Should it came down more? In my opinion, yes, because it would help sell the system a little bit more. But at the very least, it came down some, and it's before the holiday season. So who knows if this will actually drive people out to go and pick one up. But regardless, hey, it happened. Anyway, so what is your opinions out there in YouTube land? How do you feel about the release date for the PS4? Do you think Microsoft would actually have the balls to release on the same day? Honestly, I would hope for some shit like that because I'd take a camera out with me all day. I'd just be like, oh, they're good. It'd be like bum fights, but it'd be like two nerds would say, slap fight, and then somebody just grips them up, puts them in a fucking headlock, and fucking drops them after choking them out and shit, and like, fucking quit it, you both weigh 106 pounds, combined, and you're 25. And it's like, oh man, that's fucking embarrassing. But, yeah, how do you feel about the release date? How do you feel about the PlayStation Vita? Would this actually drive some of you to want to go pick up a PlayStation Vita, or could you still just give a shit less about it? Which I imagine a lot of people are just going to be like, PlayStation Vita. Just, I can't hear you over how awesome my 3DS is. I know a lot of people will say some shit like that, but, you know, it's one of those things I like when competition does well, because it means that everybody's trying their hardest, and we win at the end. So, anyway, this is AlphaOmegaSin! As always, nerds, nerdettes, and gamers, game the fuck on.